So just another example of a gentle warm up, and we'll do a few yoga postures. So something that you could start the day with, or maybe do at the end of the day. So we'll come to lying down, and we're legs bent, feet flat, arms by your side, closing the eyes, or just having a soft gaze on the ceiling, arms by your side, palms upwards, so the arms are relaxed. And when we turn the palms up, we externally rotate that forearm and arm, so you bring the shoulders back. And there's a gentle stretch across the chest, shoulders. So either the eyes are closed or soft gaze. And then just taking a moment to notice your breathing. So you're just being aware of the natural flow of air, so you're not changing your breath. So you can notice that rise and fall of the chest and abdomen. Notice the feeling of the air as it comes in through the nostrils and then as it goes out again. And notice the feeling of the body touching the ground. You're just making yourself aware of the back of the hands touching the ground, the arms, the feeling of the toes, the feet, feeling of that lower back, top of the buttocks touching the mat, shoulder blades, mid-back. And maybe that lumbar region is slightly lifted with that curve in the lower spine. And noticing the weight of the head, the contact of the head gently pressing into the mat. And then as you're breathing out, you're imagining that the body and the contact points feeling a little bit heavier as the body relaxes into the mat. And then the next time we take a breath in, we're going to inhale and lift the arms up. Pause with the fingertips towards the ceiling, and then when we're ready to breathe out the arms, gently come back down again. We inhale, lifting up, and breathing out gently down. Inhaling up. So we're breathing in all the way through this movement of the arms coming up, pausing here, lungs are full, and then we're breathing out as the arms gently come back down again. So by the time the arms reach the ground, the lungs are empty, and then we'll inhale as we lift the arms up. And breathe out back down. So we can vary this movement slightly, so we can inhale, lift the arms up, pause with the fingertips pointing towards the ceiling, and then breathing out, allow the arms to come down behind. So the arms may or may not touch the ground, and then we'll inhale, coming back up. Breathing out, arms back down by your side, down by your thighs again. Inhaling up, breathing out, down. Inhaling up, and breathing out down. And we'll pause the next time the arms are down on the ground next to us. We're going to reach down with the fingertips to catch the backs of the heels. If you can't quite, reach, don't worry about trying to force it. We just want to make sure the feet are closer to your bum than the other end of the mat. So we've got the feet about hip width apart. From here, we're going to allow both legs to come over to the right side. And if we're comfortable, we'll keep both legs on the right side. And as you're breathing out, you're imagining the body to relaxing into this twist position. If it's uncomfortable having the legs over to the right, you can either bring them back to center sooner. If it's really not doable, if you start to bring the legs over and you'll notice some pain and discomfort, you can either place a bolster or blanket to the side, so you'll only come over to a point that you're comfortable with. Or for some people, they prefer to have their feet up and then rolling to one side. And then coming back. Being mindful when doing this without the feet on the ground, you have to do a little bit more work through the abdominal muscles to support the movement from one side to the other. So we've got the legs over to the right, and then we'll inhale them to center. So you're breathing in, bringing the legs up, breathing out as the legs come down to the left. And again, if we're comfortable, we're keeping the legs on the left side. So I've got this right arm down on the ground next to me,
and I'm trying to keep this right shoulder down, but I'm not forcing it down, I'm just aware of the shoulder. Breathing out, sinking the shoulder down towards the mat. And then we're going to inhale to center, and then breathe out over to the right. And we'll continue this movement following your breathing. So when you're ready to breathe in again, we'll come back to center and breathe out over to the left. We inhale up and breathing out down. So a nice gentle movement from one side to the other. It should be quite slow. So if you notice that you're kind of moving from one side to the other quite quickly, then maybe taking a moment to slow it down, waiting for your body to breathe out, and then gently allowing the legs to come down as you breathe out. Pausing, inhale, slowly bringing the legs back to center. Breathing out, down again, and inhaling up. So you can continue to do that for a few more rounds if you want, or we can stop here. So we've got knees pointing up towards the ceiling. From here, I'm going to lift the feet up and take the hands onto the knees, or you can hold on the outside of the legs. Gently draw the knees in towards you. So I'm not pulling them in, I'm just gently drawing them in, taking the knees apart away from each other, knees moving away, back together, in towards the chest, and apart. Continuing this movement. And we can inhale as the knees move away. Breathe out as we draw the knees in. It's a nice gentle movement. Comfortable range of movement. So if you're noticing any discomfort drawing the knees in, then don't bring them in as far. You don't have to allow the knees to move as far away from you if it doesn't feel right. And then we'll go back in the opposite direction. So again, we're at the start of a session. We're just getting the body moving, getting a little bit of movement through the hip joints, getting that synovial fluid coming into the joints. So it's a bit like your oil into the joints, the synovial fluid. And then we're going to pop the feet back down onto the mat. And then from here we'll roll to one side and press up to all fours. So we're coming up onto hands and knees. I'm going to take the knees a bit wider, toes toward each other, bum to heel, slide the hands away. So the arms are straight, shoulder width apart and parallel, fingers are spread. So I'm gently pressing the hands into the mat as if I'm trying to push it forwards away from me, and as I'm doing that, the bum's coming back towards the heels. So again, just being mindful of any discomfort in the knees or tops of the feet. You don't have to press back as far. It might be that you're more in this position. The chest will only come down as much as the shoulders will allow. So for some of us, it might be that the head is between the arms. For some, it might be that your head is above. And then we're going to inhale and come up, bringing the shoulders forwards, and breathing out, coming back down again. Inhaling, coming up, and breathing out down. So again, we're moving the body through a comfortable range of movement, but some of you might want to have a bit of padding under the knees. You know, if you get any discomfort under the knees, you can have the blanket there. For some of us might have discomfort across the tops of the feet, again, position for a blanket, or it might be that you just reduce the range of movement, so you don't necessarily need to take the bum as far back. Any discomfort in the wrists, again, you don't necessarily need to take the shoulders above the wrists, or you can modify this position by being on the forearms, so you don't have that load through the wrists. And then we'll pause next time we're upright. We'll come back into all fours, so wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll lift up the right hand and twist to the right, so reaching the right fingertips up, bringing that right hand down, and lifting up the left, twisting to the left, and back down. We can also do this with the breathing, so we inhale as we lift the right arm up, breathing out down, inhaling as we twist to the left, and then breathing out back down again. We'll come into a few rounds of cat-cow, so we're starting the movement at the pelvis, tip the pelvis back so you get that arch in the back. Allow the head to drop. We tip the pelvis forward so the belly moves towards the ground, taking the gaze forward. Tipping the pelvis back, arching the back, dropping the head. Tipping the pelvis forward, dropping the belly, taking the gaze forward. So we're continuing that movement. We're starting each time at the pelvis. Tying the breathing in, so as we tip the pelvis forward, we can inhale all the way through that movement. So I'm tipping the pelvis forward, you can start to inhale here. We're still inhaling, taking the gaze forward, and then we'll start to breathe out as we tip the pelvis back, arch the back and drop the head. And then inhaling as you tip the pelvis forward, belly moves towards ground, taking the gaze forward. And again, this is a gentle movement, gentle transition from one position to the other. We're not trying to force a huge arch in the back, so we're not forcing the pelvis back, we're not forcing the pelvis forward, so we're just getting some movement through the spine, either in preparation for your yoga practice or in preparation to do your day, or if you just feel like you need to loosen up a little bit. Pausing next time we're in a flat back position, and we're going to look over the left shoulder and press the bum out to the left, so we're getting some lateral flexion in the spine or like a curve in the spine. We'll come back to center, look over the right shoulder, press the bum to the right, and then back to center, looking over that left shoulder again, gently pressing the bum to the left, and back to center, and then once more to the right. So I'm looking over the right shoulder, pressing the bum to the right, back to center. I'm going to take the knees wide again, toes towards each other, slide the hands away, pressing the hands into the mat. So I'm pressing the bum back towards the heels. From here, taking the right hand to the right edge, left hand over to join, pressing both palms into that right side of the mat. Big breath in, breathing out, pressing a little bit harder maybe. And breathing out. So as we breathe out, the body will relax. Maybe we can get a little bit more out of the stretch. Sliding the left hand to left edge, right hand over to join, pressing both palms into that left side of the mat. And taking a deep breath in. And then as we breathe out, we'll press forwards again. Breathing in. And then breathing out, pressing forward. And then we'll take the arms back to shoulder width apart in parallel. And then breathing in. And as we breathe out, pressing forward. Body relaxes, chest sinks, head sinks. And taking a breath in. And breathing out forwards. And then we'll inhale, come up. And breathing out back down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. So you continue to do this for a few more rounds if you want, or we can pause next time we're upright, bring the wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And there's another gentle practice that you can either do at the start of the day to get the body moving, or maybe at the start of a yoga session. So thank you for watching. Namaste.